Okay, this video is intending to help you remember how you are going to write equations for perpendicular lines. Remember, perpendicular lines are lines that cross at a 90-degree angle, so it's going to generate something like this. And the defining feature about that is whatever the slope is on my first line, the slope on my second line needs to be the opposite in sign and reciprocal of it. So these two slopes would be perpendicular to each other. This is the key feature here. So I'm going to use this information and I'm going to come up with an equation for the line that is going to be perpendicular to this line that goes through my new point right here. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to steal the slope off my first line. It's very easy for me to recognize the slope on my first line. And I'm going to change this thing. I'm going to find the opposite sign reciprocal of that slope and use that in my new point in my equation. And so my original slope on my first line is 2/3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to change the sign on it. So it's going to be a negative 2/3. So the first thing is I change the sign to be a negative 2/3. And then I'm going to flip this thing around and find the reciprocal. This thing is going to get all turned upside down. It's going to end up being a negative 3/2. And that's going to equal the slope on my second line. So this right here is what I'm going to be using with my new point. If I'm given a point and I know a slope, then the formula that I'm going to use to write an equation is point-slope form. That's y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And I just put the pertinent pieces of information in there. I know that the x on my point is 6. I know the y on my point is 4. I know my new slope on this line is a negative 3/2, so I drop all of that information in. So my equation is going to be y minus 4 is equal to a negative 3/2 times x minus 6. And now I just go through and simplify to put it in whatever form that I want. For this video, I'm going to actually get you guys back into slope-intercept form. So the first thing that I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to do my distributive property here and get rid of my parentheses. And so I will have a y minus 4 is equal to a negative 3/2x, and then a negative 3/2 times 6 is going to be a negative 18/2, which ends up just being a minus 9. And if I minus a minus 9, it's going to be a positive. The last step that I'm going to do is get y by itself. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And this will cancel, and I'll have y is equal to a negative 3/2x. And then a plus 9 plus 4 more is going to be a plus 13. And now I have an equation in slope-intercept form. I hope that helps. Good luck.